Government's been under pressure to ignite the economy and to relax lockdown restrictions. One person who feels business needs to back the president and that we can't have a prosperous economy without a healthy population is Kuseni Dlamini. He's the chair of Aspen Pharmacare and Massmart Holdings. He joins us now by Skype. Mr. Dlamini, good evening to you. If you were chairing the National Coronavirus Command Council, what would you recommend this evening? Would you recommend that we stay where we are or that we start implementing some relaxation of the restrictions?
Good evening, Stephen. It's very nice indeed to be on your show, and thank you very much for having me. I think it's a craft, it's a fine balancing act that needs to be crafted, because you cannot have a strong economy without a healthy population, and vice versa. You do need to fight and defeat COVID-19 so that when we return to work, we've got a healthy population. The whole issue is around how do you manage the timing and what should come first. And I think the risk-adjusted and phased strategy which the government is implementing is very sound and deserves to be supported by all and sundry. But what we need to do now, Stephen, is to start thinking about how do we rebuild the economy, because the damage that has been caused by COVID-19 is so deep and so severe, and it will take time for the economy to recover. And the longer we're in lockdown situation, more damage is done each day. So I think now we need all hands on deck to start thinking proactively and strategically in terms of how we expedite the rebuilding, the recovery process that will be required to get us to a state of normalcy of some sort.
The former Finance Minister, Trevor Manuel, you'll know him, of course, he said this morning that some of the regulations around, for example, what you can sell and what you can't sell, he said that they fail the test of rationality, was the quote. Do you agree with him?
Well, I think it's a fine. We have to be very sympathetic to the government. This is something that was not planned for, and everyone is learning as they go. Even us in business, we are trying things. Some things work, some things don't work. The key thing is to learn the lessons quickly and move on to do the right thing and make sure that you assess the impact and you also assess both intended and unintended consequences.
It seems, I mean, some people are suggesting that the damage that's been done to the economy is already permanent. Do you think it is already permanent, or do you think the economy can actually be resuscitated? And that's really getting you to a question of at what point would you start any kind of gradual relaxation? Would it be this week, for example?
Yeah, I think, Stephen, what is required is redoubling our effort. We'll need speed, we'll need agility, we'll need to be creative, we need smart, evidence-based strategies that are going to get us out of the economic mess that has been wrecked by this pandemic. I think it can be fixed. It will take time. It won't be as quickly as we would like it to be, but I think this is the time when all South Africans in labour, in business, civil society and in government must come together and rally around a common vision of rebuilding the country and restoring the damage that has been done to ordinary people's lives and to companies that are going to struggle to emerge. Some companies are already filing for business rescue, and some companies will have to be forced to retrench, and some companies will be forced to implement salary cuts. It's going to be very tough indeed.
I'm going to push you, I'm afraid. I realize, Mr. Dlamini, it's a very complicated governance decision about what we do next. Would you recommend that we go to level 3 this week? Come on, yes or no?
I think we have to look at all options and do what it takes and be prepared to take risks. The countries, Stephen, that have succeeded in coming out relatively stronger are those that move faster and also took some very creative and very smart decisions. You look at countries like Norway, you look at what South Korea has done, you look at what Taiwan has done, and Germany in Europe is a very good shining example. So we also have to use all the tools in our toolkit as a country to be able to get ourselves out of the situation quicker and better.
Now, I can see I'm not going to be able to pin you down any more than that. Getting the sense, if I may, that perhaps you wouldn't swap jobs with the President right now. I think you wouldn't be alone in that as well. All right, do appreciate the time. Thank you. Kuseni Dlamini is the chair of Aspen Pharmacare and the retailer Massmart.